Hello, my name's Liam. This is MAngband. I'm gonna try playing it and explaining it and stuff. Enjoy. So, this is MAngband with all of its different windows, and here is the server list. The only valid option is A because the rest are mildly shit. Well, they're not shit, they're just shit for different people because they're in other places, which, I lag to because I'm from England, and yeah. Geographical locations are fun. What should I call my character? I'm going to make a new account. Let's see. Good. And password, you don't need to know that part. Yep. Um, uh, Sex doesn't matter at all. Females have -10 stats at everything. Actually, more like -50. I'm joking. No, seriously, they're shit. Let's see. Really, it should ask the class first because, like, what race you pick is more dependent on what class you want to go for. Um, the, the three main classes that I like are priest, warrior, and mage. The best priests are dwarves because they have a high wisdom stat, and also they have this very nice thing. They're completely impervious to anything that might blind them, which is very nice because if you're blind, you can't really do anything. Yeah. I'm going to go for a Dunedain or Dunedain, or however you want to say it. They make good warriors. The bad thing about them is that they take about twice as much XP or experience points, which is a common RPG concept, to level up. But otherwise, they've got very high stats in just about everything, and they're good warriors. You already know what class I'm going to pick. Warriors, basically, they have absolutely no special abilities, but they can kill things, and they're good at not getting killed. Now, stat order basically decides what you're going to get more stat. You've got a base stat level, and then you are assigned some extra points based on in what order you pick these things. So I like what I memorized was A for strength, E for constitution, D for dexterity. Okay, so strength, basically, it's how much you can carry, also what kind of equipment you can use, like how well you can use heavy weapons and stuff. Constitution is how much health you have. It's also how you deal with things like poison and being a terrible person. Dexterity, basically how fast you can hit things, and also how good are you at not getting hit. Uh, and then intelligence is how good you are at waving around sticks and making things come out of them. Wisdom, basically, main thing it's good for a warrior is what's called a saving throw, which is basically if something bad magically happens to you, um, are you going to resist it? That's down to wisdom for some strange reason. And charisma, basically, what charisma is, it's not how good you are at talking and stuff, it's about how bad or otherwise you look. Crap, I did it too slowly. I'll just quickly do it again. Yeah, weird thing about this, like server selection and character creation thing, if you wait too long, it crashes. This game isn't perfect. This again. Oops. Love it. Good. Okay, so we start off with this is our inventory here. Every inventory slot has a key associated to it. So if I went I, capital I, which is examine for some strange reason, you can see I could press A, and I would look at these rations of food. Yeah. and if you ever wonder about like what a thing does, you can look at it. And so we have some food, a potion of berserk strength. Let's see what that does. Cures 30 points of damage, removes fear. Fear is like a basically if you're feared or afraid would be the proper word. You can't hit things in melee. And grants you berserk strength. Resistance to fear means you can't be feared. Bonus of plus 12 to hit. That's basically how accurate you are. Accurate. And a penalty of minus 10 to AC means you take more damage. And it lasts for 25. And then one die gets rolled that has 25 sides. So it can be anything from 1 to 25. The average is probably around 12 or 13. Yeah, but like if it's 3d25, you'd have 3 different die that are rolled with 25 die. That's a concept you kind of have to get used to when you're playing roguelikes. They do a lot of things that are kind of random, and so you kind of have to know how random things are and calculate which is the more better or more powerful random and stuff. Anyway, so we start off with some wooden torches. For the sake of demonstration, I will wield one, and you can see now it's in my equipment screen here. And I have a radius around me of 1 square where if I move around, you can see I can see things. If I take that off, because it's night time, I am literally blind. Yeah. So I will put that back on, and here is the town. You start out in the tavern. The good thing about the tavern is that no enemies or anything can bother you in here, because there are like town enemies. They're pretty weak, but they can be a pain for people who like characters that just started out. Let's do this in numerical order because I'm feeling weird. 1 is the general store. You can buy food and light sources, which we're going to get this one here. P for purchase, or pay, and then I, which is a key for the item that was there. Now we bought it. And what do you fill a brass lantern with? If you want to replenish, you can't replenish torches; they're one-time use. But this, you can refill it with flasks of oil. I'll get a couple of those. Where this, or wield, however you want to say it, and then Shift F is refill, and you can refill it with the flask of oil. And now you can see the maximum, number of turns here that brass lantern can hold is 15,000. So it wouldn't be worth me using a flask of oil. I will buy a cloak because I'm feeling saucy, and if we look at this cloak, you can see it gives us 1 AC, and then plus 0 is the enchantment. That can either be minus if it's been damaged, or plus if it's been magically enchanted. So you can have a cloak that has 1 base armor and plus 10. So you can see the enchantment is about 10 times as useful as the actual base enchantment. But also later on you get items and equipment that don't just have armor. Like let's look at this. Do you see these IK gloves of thievery, which is the ego stat. I don't know why they call it ego, but yeah. It increases your dexterity by 4. You can see because that's plus 4 there. It increases your searching by 4. Searching is almost useless. It makes you fall like a feather. Almost useless, but it means that if you fall into a spike trap, you won't take like 10 damage, which is pretty like unimportant. And grants you immunity to paralysis. That is important. It's otherwise called free action. There are enemies a little bit later on down in the dungeon, which is where we do our fighting and looting and stuff, that can paralyze you. And if you're paralyzed, basically you can do absolutely nothing, and you're probably dead. So if you're going to go anywhere where there are enemies that can potentially do that, you already really want free action. We are going to sell our chainmail because the amount of money it gives us is more useful to us at the moment, and the broadsword. I will wield it first and show you that it gives us 2 blows per round here. This is Shift C, and this is the character screen. You see, my name is Gigawang because, you know, yeah, I'm 65, but like my race can probably live quite a bit longer, so I'm probably like a young adult or something. I don't know. Don't ask me about lore. I don't know. We're going to go in here. I'm going to get I never ever know how to say this, but main gauche or something like that. D or F, and you see we have 4 blows around. So even though the broadsword does more damage, it's probably better that we get I'm not going to say that word. A main G. I'm going to call it a main G because that sounds cool. It's probably better for us to use the main G because of some weird reason with our strength and dexterity at the moment, that'll give us enough stat to be able to swing it around 4 times in a single turn. In this game, because it's multiplayer, how they made multiplayer work is that turns are real time. Like in most roguelikes, and all, like, not all, but most single player roguelikes, nothing happens until you do something, and so when you move or do something, then a turn has happened. But here, turns just go at a certain rate, and the further you go down, things get more dangerous, so they help you out. They give you more time to be able to react, so turns go a little bit slower. But you also get the ability to be faster, move faster and stuff when you get lower down, so it's just kind of counteract that. In town at the surface, turns move around the fastest, and if I was to be at like base 0 speed and I was all the way down, I would move more like this whilst running. This is, if you just try and move around, you kind of go pretty slow. But if you hold shift whilst you're moving around, you run. But you can't run when you see an enemy. That's the only problem. I mean, in town, I think you can still run. No, you can't still run if you see an enemy. Like, let's see if I can find an enemy. Any day now. All of these brown things are player houses. You can see people put things up for sale because this is a multiplayer server. If we go up further, you'd find that my other characters have some of the biggest houses, because this server instance has been up for ages and I used to play this a lot, but I couldn't find an enemy really, so let's not worry about that. So I'm going to sell this broadsword. SF for S for sell. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. And is there anything I need from here? No, I already got the main G. I'm going to want a couple scrolls of Word of Recall. They're really expensive, but basically Word of Recall will bring you back up to the surface instead of having to climb all the way up. And you can also go like this, inscribe, which is like a bracket key. I don't know how to explain it. I'll put it in chat. That thing, yeah. It's next to P, and you have to press shift as well. Inscribe, and then the scrolls, and then with at R, and then the depth you want to go down to in feet. So every level is an increment of 50 feet, so if I want to go to level 10, it would be R500. But you must have at least once gone to that depth for you to be able to go down, otherwise it will just send you to the lowest you've been ever, which might be less than where you want to go, but tough luck, you're going to have to go down yourself. Probably not a good idea to go down that far without actually been down there before anyway, because, you know, things kill you pretty quickly. Let's see. I want some things. If I drink them, they're going to make me less dead, so I'm going to buy 5 of those. That's expensive, but I'm going to inscribe them with RQ3. Q for some strange reason, stands for quaff, and if you want to drink a potion, you have to press Q and then the particular letter for that drink. So, when you're in the middle of a battle, you know, you might be you might be going to battle, you know, potion seller, that whole video, you know, potion seller, I am going into battle, and I require your strongest potions. You know, you might have seen that. If not, just look up potion seller. It's fun for a little bit, and it's not really that much fun anymore. I'm going to sell these torches. I'm not going to get much for them because they're almost worthless. No one should ever use torches because you just get a brass lantern because there's a large radius and you can refill it, which, you know, is good for economic reasons. And I'm going to create a macro. A macro is you can basically assign an action to a button so that if you just press that button it does a sequence or maybe just sometimes a single thing. So how you access the macro menu is with Shift 5, and then you can enter a new action. /E basically means that it presses escape before it tries to do the thing. So imagine if you're being killed and you're in a menu. You don't want to have to exit the menu and then do the thing. You want to teleport, or you want to like go somewhere else, or kill the thing, or drink something to make you less dead. So /E will escape any windows to make sure that no matter what you're doing, that thing will work. You pretty much do it on almost every single macro you do. And then Q for quaff, and then the inscription that I put up there on the item, you can then correspond to that, so 3, and then make a new normal macro, 5, and then I'm going to put it on key F4, and then save under my player name, so whenever I go into this account, it will automatically reload my macros. Yeah. So if I press F4, I've drunk the thing. What else do I have to explain? 4 is the shop with prayer books, which, you know, is what priests uses for their spells. Potions, scrolls, and blunt weapons. Priests can only use blunt weapons, otherwise their god doesn't like them. It's weird. Gods are weird. What else do I want? I don't really have the ability to want much because of, you know, I don't have much money. I'll sell that potion because I don't need it that much. It's not that useful. And I'll get these scrolls of phase door, and I'll make another macro. R2 for read. It's how you read scrolls. I think that kind of makes a bit more sense compared to the other keys, but yeah. And I'm going to set it to R2 and then F2. Do I need anything else? I'll get that scroll of recall. Those are expensive. That one is less expensive. It's 75% off. I wish I had waited to buy that first because I don't have more money for other things. Other shops I will explain as we need them. We probably won't really need 6 for much because it's like, well, we might need it. It's got things you wave around and things you like, big sticks and stuff that if you go, you know, you shall not pass, they do stuff. That wasn't even a funny joke. Anyway, on that note, next episode we will be going down into this place here. Down staircases are signified by this thing here, arrow pointing right, and if you press that same key on your keyboard it will send you down there. So thanks for watching, take care.